It's time for another adventure. We're headed to the British Isles this time with some family members and Frizzle, of course. We flew across the pond and ended up in Southampton, ready to board the Regal Princess. The Regal Princess debuted in 2014. She was christened by the original cast of The Love Boat and was used in the recent reboot of the series. It therefore carries the nickname of The Love Boat. We learned how serious they were about this title when we departed for our cruise, and they blew the ship's distinctive horn.
So people fall in love here?
Well, yes, Frizzle. I guess people can fall in love on this ship.
Will anyone fall in love with me? Will anyone fall in love with me?
No, Frizzle, I don't think anyone will fall in love with a squirrel.
Oh.
But I love you, Frizzle. We're going to see Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a prehistoric monument on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England. I had heard about Stonehenge since I was a child and have watched many documentaries on this amazing place. It boggles the mind that I'm actually here and able to see these huge stones in person. Archaeologists believe that Stonehenge was constructed from around 3000 BC to 2000 BC. The blue stones were brought to Stonehenge from somewhere in the Preseli Hills in Wales, about 140 miles away. After viewing Stonehenge, we set off for the town of Salisbury and Salisbury Cathedral. The building is of early English Gothic architecture. Its main body was completed in 38 years, from 1220 to 1258. The spire was built in 1320. It was heightened to 404 feet and has been the tallest church spire in the United Kingdom since 1561. One of the most exciting things, though, was that the chapter house displays the best preserved of the 4 surviving original copies of the Magna Carta. This copy came to Salisbury because Elias of Dereham who was present at Runnymede in 1215 and was given the task of distributing some of the original copies. Sorry, I don't know what that sound is. Elias later became a canon of Salisbury and supervised the construction of the cathedral. Frizzle, what is that sound? Frizzle, are you eating the Magna Carta? Shame on you. Come on, we gotta get out of here.
Wait.
Soon we were off to Cork. It's the second largest city in the Republic of Ireland and the third largest city on the island of Ireland. Cork was originally a monastic settlement that was expanded by Viking invaders around 915. No, Frizzle, there are no Vikings still here. Its charter was granted by Prince John in 1185. We took a bus tour and enjoyed the sights that we saw. We had the chance to wander around Cork and see the amazing wool products they produce. then on to Killarney National Park in County Kerry. Killarney National Park is one of the very few places in Ireland that has been continuously covered by woodlands. At the heart of the park is Muckross House, built in 1839. Queen Victoria stayed here in 1861. She brought her own bed and a 100-person entourage. It's said the estate was bankrupted, preparing for her visit. It's now a popular venue for events and weddings. Where's Frizzle? Oh, there he is. The little town of Dun Laoghaire, south of Dublin, was full of quaint houses and shops. We stumbled across a restaurant that served the best fish and chips I'd ever eaten.
Can I eat it? Can I eat it? Can I
Yes, Frizzle, you can have one bite. One bite. Maybe two. Don't overdo it. It was perfect weather, and we walked through the People's Park, which was filled with beautiful plants that were in full bloom. The People's Park opened in 1890. We enjoyed the beautiful flowers and plants as we casually strolled along the walkways. Several fountains graced the park, giving it a feel of a traditional Victorian formal garden. Frizzle, did you eat that whole plate of fish and chips? Frizzle, what am I going to do with you? After Frizzle recovered from his feeding frenzy, we docked at Belfast, Northern Ireland. The view of the countryside was truly breathtaking as we took a bus tour to our destination, which was the Giant's Causeway. You, young man, are staying in the bus.
Oh no.
The tops of the columns of this very unique formation form stepping stones that lead from the cliff foot and disappear under the sea. Most of the columns are hexagonal, although some have 4, 5, 7, or 8 sides. The tallest are about 39 feet high, and the solidified lava in the cliffs is about 92 feet thick in places. Legend has it that the causeway was built by a Scottish giant wanting to cross the sea to fight with another giant on the other side. Hey, how did you get out of the bus? After all the whirlwind tours of the magnificent sights, we got the chance to relax with a day at sea. It was a chance to take in the stunning beauty of the ship and see a few shows. From Scottish bagpipes to traditional Irish dancers. Of course, the casino is in full swing when we're out to sea. Is that Frizzle? Come on, you're out of here.
No, wait, I'm winning.
The absolute highlight for me was Edinburgh Castle. It stands on Castle Rock. There has been a royal castle on the rock since at least the 12th century. It's one of the most important strongholds in the Kingdom of Scotland. Edinburgh Castle was involved in many historical conflicts, from the Wars of Scottish Independence in the 14th century to the Jacobite Rising of 1745. From atop the castle, it has a commanding view of all of Edinburgh. By the 17th century, it was principally used as a military barracks with a large garrison. With 26 sieges in its 1100-year history, it claims to be the most besieged place in Great Britain and one of the most attacked in the world. It was an amazing experience to walk the grounds where so much history has unfolded. Mary, Queen of Scots, was here, as well as so many other notable people. Few of the present buildings predate the siege of the 16th century, when the medieval defenses were largely destroyed by artillery bombardment. The most notable exceptions are St. Margaret's Chapel from the early 12th century, which is regarded as the oldest building in Edinburgh. The Great Hall was built in the early 16th century. It was the most amazing place and full of so much regalia. The castle also houses the Honours of Scotland, the crown jewels. It's also the site of the Scottish National War Memorial and National War Museum. Yes, he is wearing a real fur cap. No, it's no one you know. The castle was the most secure lockup in Scotland. Between 1767 and 1814, the vaults held many hundreds of prisoners of war. They'll put you in there if you don't behave.
What?
It's been an exhausting day, but well worth it to view all of these historical sites. Why, hello, who is this? Your new girlfriend? Huh. Well, I guess the love boat did work its magic.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. And love, life's sweetest reward.
This right here was the cause of the American Revolutionary War. It wasn't taxation without representation. The British call this bacon. They do not know how to make bacon.